Welcome back to Legion Builds, where I help bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. Today we're building Special Forces legend John Rambo. First introduced in the 1972 novel First Blood, he has gone on to become an action movie legend, as well as a character deep in social issues, tackling post-traumatic stress disorder and treatment of veterans after war. Before we continue, I should clarify something. Why, if Rambo is famous for movies, am I using his appearance in Mortal Kombat for clips only? Well, a couple reasons. Copyright laws state that I can only have 10-second clips of movies and shows, but gameplay footage is exempt from this, so creating a video using game footage is easier for me. Also, I don't own any of the Rambo movies except the most violent one, which using can get me banned in certain places. I actually have no understanding of why I don't actually own the Rambo movies since I like the Rambo movies. Also, finally, and probably most importantly, I couldn't edit videos for about a week at one point, so I played Mortal Kombat 11 a lot. Today we're using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Gonna be a simple one. We're using standard point array and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums if you roll or use point buy. We'll start things off with strength at 15. You are a brutal fighter who delivers powerful blows. Con will be next at 14. There is never a moment where you aren't keeping yourself in shape, because if you let yourself get lazy, you will not survive. Dex will follow at 13. At an early age, you began training to use the bow and sneak up on what you are hunting, so Dex is required. Wisdom will be 12. Low since it's required for tracking, but we'll get something to improve that skill. Intelligence is also low with a 10, which you're a tactician, so it should be better, but we need to put the 10 somewhere. And finally, we need to dump charisma. Your life before and after the war has been a hard one, and you don't make friends very easily. Rambo is a normal, everyday human with serious athletic prowess and skills. Barbarian Human grants you a free feat skill with your stat adjustments. Place +1 into strength and into con. For your free feat, Athlete adds +1 to dex. Getting up from being prone requires only 5 feet of movement instead of half your movement. Climbing doesn't cost any extra movement. And finally, you only need to move 5 feet for a running long jump or high jump. For your free skill, grab Perception. For your background, grab Investigation and Medicine. We'll start things off with all weapons proficiencies you need and go with Fighter. For skills, grab Athletics and Insight. Level 1 Fighter, start things off with a fighting style. Dueling adds +2 to damage with a weapon when holding a weapon in one hand and having no other weapon being held in the offhand. Archery is also a good choice. This adds +2 to attack rolls made with range attacks, as well as Unarmed Strike, which turns your unarmed strikes into a D8. Your main weapons are your combat knife and compound bow, but you are capable of fighting with your fists, so go with how you feel. Second Wind lets you heal yourself with a bonus action equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level between short or long rests. Okay, time for some Special Forces training. Heading over to Rogue, you gain another skill. Take Stealth. Level 1 Rogues start things off with Expertise. Choosing 2 skills you're proficient with, you can now add double the proficiency bonus to them. Let's put this into Perception and Stealth. Sneak Attack adds bonus damage to an attack once per turn made with a finesse or ranged weapon, and while you have advantage or are within 5 feet of an ally. As I've already stated, your combat knife and compound bow are your preferred weapon, so you're good to go. This damage starts off at a D6, but will be upgraded over time. Thieves' Cant lets you understand a coded language of symbols, gestures, and phrases, best used to relay information without fear of the wrong people hearing it. Level 2 Rogues now have cunning actions. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions now. Level 3 Rogues receive Steady Aim. Now, with a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on an attack if you haven't moved, and your movement becomes 0 to the end of your current turn. You also receive your subclass, and it's time to become a Green Beret. Scout grants you the abilities you need to survive no matter where you are. Skirmisher allows you to move half your total speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its movement within 5 feet of you, and this movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Survivalist gives you the skills Nature and Survival and doubles the bonus for them. Now I would like to point out that Survival is not just for tracking, but also for navigating and setting traps. Had a talk with some players recently about that. A lot of them didn't know that. Your sneak attack is upgraded to 2d6 extra damage. Level 2 fighters gain Action Surge. Now, once per short or long rest, you can grant yourself a free action. Level 3 fighters receive their subclass, and while we don't need it, it's time for some explosive arrows. Let's face it, if I didn't do this, all of you would be angry right now. Hell, I'd be angry right now. Arcane Archer gives you magic arrows that go boom. Arcane Lore grants you the choice of a cantrip between Prestidigitation or Druidcraft. You want Druidcraft. Why? This cantrip can create a single effect out to 30 feet, such as predict the weather for the next 24 hours, creates a harmless sensory effect like a gust of wind or a faint odor, causes plants to bloom, or the best, you can instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. Really great for stealth and survival when you have nothing else to use. Arcane Shot gives you 2 special arcane shots to enchant your arrows with. Once per turn, you can imbue 1 arrow with 1 of your special shots. You only get 2 uses of this per short or long rest, so use them when you need them the most. For your arcane shots, Bursting Arrow detonates after hitting the target. The creature takes the normal arrow damage before the arrow explodes. After exploding, the original target and every creature within 10 feet of it takes 2d6 force damage. Enfeebling Arrow doesn't explode, but it packs a special punch to it. A necrotic punch. After taking the normal arrow damage, the target takes an extra 2d6 necrotic damage. Afterwards, the target must make a con save or all of its weapon attack damage is halved until the start of your next turn. Now we need to make the obligatory action hero and fight shirtless. Just so you know, this level gives you nothing except unarmored AC. Drop it if you want. If you do take one more level in fighter later on to earn another ability score improvement. But your unarmed defense at level 20 will be great if you keep this level. Level 1 Barbarians have unarmored defense. When not wearing armor, your AC is 10 plus Dex plus Con, giving you an AC of 14 for right now. Keep the body armor for a while. Rage unleashes your anger and grants bonuses while active. With a bonus action for 1 minute while not wearing heavy armor, you can have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, and when using strength for melee weapon attacks, you gain a bonus +2 damage. Rage lasts until you end it, or take no damage or don't attack for your turn. This is not going to be growing as Barbarians give us nothing other than unarmored defense. Now remember, your finesse weapons use Dex or Strength, so Rage can be paired with this if you're using your combat knife. Level 4 fighters earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Durable adds +1 to Con, and now when you roll a hit dice to regain hit points, you can never roll lower than double your Con modifier, meaning right now you can never roll lower than 6. Level 5 fighters gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into strength for better attacks. Level 4 rogues earn yet another ability score improvement. Just so you know, fighters and rogues receive the most ability score improvements out of all the classes. This time we're going to grab Dex for better stealth and AC. Level 5 rogues receive Uncanny Dodge. Now as a reaction, when you see an attacker hitting you with an attack, you can halve the damage. Your sneak attack is now 3d6. Level 6 rogues now have 2 more expertise. I say place this into athletics and investigation. Level 7 rogues gain evasion. Now when you succeed on a dex save, you take no damage and half damage on a failure. Your sneak attack is now plus 4d6 to damage. Level 8 rogues earn another ability score improvement. Place this into wisdom for better tracking and perception. Level 9 rogues gain superior mobility. Your speed is increased by 10 feet. Your sneak attack damage is now 5d6. Level 10 rogues earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Dex for better stealth and AC. Level 11 rogues now have reliable talent. Now when you roll a skill check for a skill you're proficient with, you can never roll lower than 10. Your sneak attack damage is now 6d6. Level 12 rogues earn our final ability score improvement, which is good because I'm tired of saying it. Place this into Con for better health and AC. Our final level is level 13 rogues and scouts get Ambush Master. You have advantage on initiative rolls, and the first creature you hit during the first round of combat, you now have advantage on all attack rolls till the start of your next turn. And finally, your sneak attack damage is now done with a 7d6 extra. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap this build. Your stats are Strength 18, Dex 18, Con 18, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 14, Charisma 8. Your total levels are Rogue 13, Barbarian 1, Fighter 6. Let's dive in. You are the Boogeyman. Your stealth is plus 17, and because you can never roll lower than a 10, that automatically means you're always rolling a 26 on your stealth checks. Even if they can find you, your movement can get you out of there. Your total movement is 40 feet, 80 feet with dash, and you can move 20 feet as a reaction. In combat, you're just scary. You're rolling initiative with advantage, have advantage on your first attacks, dealing 7d6 sneak attack damage with your weapons, and if you want to deal an extra 2+ damage with rage, you can. Overall, you're just really good. Your AC is 18, your total health is 192. When using hit dice, you can never roll lower than 8, which is good considering your hit dice are 13d8s, 6d10s, and 1d12. Your passive perception is 24, which is also the lowest you can get on a perception or survival check. Downside. Firstly, no magical damage without a magical weapon, which is going to happen. And if it doesn't, then you're probably not fighting any creatures that have resistances to non-magical damage. Your arcane shots are magical, but you only get 2 of those per short or long rest, so you'll probably burn through those pretty quickly. Next, because we devoted so much time to strength, dex, and con, your soft stats make you a spellcaster's dream. At least your wisdom is okay with a +2, but intelligence and charisma are bad. Finally, rage is actually pretty useless. In the end, this build works better as a dex build, but you have literally killed a man by ripping out his throat with your bare hands. Strength is your thing. For what this build can do, it's amazing. For someone so powerful, you're also really subtle in your methods. Infiltrate behind enemy lines, unleash hell, and then vanish into the wilderness to wait for your next strike. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube or Spotify.